And in 2011, the internet was a very, very different place from where it is today. Because in 2011, if you wanted to have an internet business, unfortunately, you were in the hands of other people who were once again getting in, my instance, my way. Because at that time, in order to put your internet footprint down, you had to go through this outrageous technical process that really only a guy, you know, with a propeller in his head that thinks he really understands how the world works can come up with. Well, guess what? This was just more technical rubbish. And I think, you know, the first 12 months, and the amount of money I spent on these Indian engineers that went out link building for me and putting up these ridiculous articles and doing all the kind of stuff that's mapped out in this way, watching the keywords on certain websites appear in the search engine results pages and be good there for 2 or 3 weeks, and then we'd stop spending this money, and then they'd slowly sink out of view. And I said to myself, there's something wrong here. This feels to me like it's the millennium bug all over again. Does everybody here remember the millennium bug? Well, for those youngsters that don't, basically the world was going to hell in a handbasket in 1999. Airplanes were going to fall out of the skies. Our bank accounts were going to be emptied at the stroke of midnight. It was doom. And for about, well, a dozen years after they had realized the problem, there emerged this huge industry of these IT consultants that were solving this problem. And lo and behold, the day we crossed midnight, nothing. Not a single instance. It had never existed. So I thought, this is going on now with this internet thing. I can't believe some guys with propellers in my head are once again getting in the way of me achieving my dreams. I've got the best content in the world in my niche. Why do I have to rely on these guys to get it out there? Something's wrong. So what are they doing? What are they really doing, these guys, apart from parlaying on us what I call the car mechanic syndrome, where you take your car to your car mechanic, you haven't got a clue. Whatever he's charging you is a good price or a bad price, you just need to get it fixed. Well, that's exactly what I realized these guys were doing. So I had a eureka moment. I thought, hang on a minute. This entire industry has been set up to game Google. And Google are the only players that've got access to all the data and all the inputs. So if they've got access to all the data and the inputs, they will never be able to be gamed. And if they've got access to all the data and all the inputs, in time, their body of knowledge would become such that that algorithm would start to recognize natural language. And so if you then determined that you were going to produce a content proposition that was designed to answer questions that are being asked in natural language, which is the ultimate determinant of the Google algorithm, that's where it's going, that's what it's all about. Then if you do that, and you do that before anybody else, and you do it in a unique and interesting way, you will win by default, because time is on your side. And that was a eureka moment for me.